Hi, this is Bob Vineyard with the Georgia Medicare Minute. Let's talk for a moment about some common mistakes that people make when they're first looking at Medicare. Many times they're confused on the difference between Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement, sometimes even between Medicare Supplement and Medicare and Medigap. Let me just make that one real clear. Medicare Supplement and Medigap are the same thing. They're interchangeable terms like Kleenex and tissue, so that one won't be confusing to you anymore. But a lot of the confusion and a lot of the mistakes that people make are simply based on where, not only where they got their information, but also where they enrolled in a plan. One of the common misconceptions is, and one of the mistakes that people make is, if I buy direct from the carrier, then I cut out the middleman. Well, I've got a whole video on that. But anyway, if I buy direct from the carrier and cut out the middleman, I'm going to get a lower premium. And I'm also going to get unbiased advice. Well, let me straighten you out there. You're not going to get a lower premium because whether you get a rate from me or from another agent, a national agency, from Medicare.gov, if you can even find it there, or you go direct to a carrier, it's all the same plan, it's all the same rate. So you're not going to save anything there. And if you talk to somebody there, you may talk to a person who's only been there for a couple of weeks and has had minimal training, and all they know how to do is key your question into a computer and read the answer back to you. Beyond that, they're only going to be able to tell you about their products. They're certainly not going to tell you about their competitor products. Well, at least in the Medicare supplement market, there's currently about 50 carriers writing business in Georgia. Are you really going to call all 50 carriers and talk to who knows how many people out there and never the same person twice in order to find out information and rates? I don't really think so. Another thing, people think, well, if I talk to a salaried person or a volunteer for that matter, because there are volunteer organizations out there, I will surely get unbiased information then. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Just because somebody's on a salary doesn't necessarily mean they're unbiased, because it depends on who trained them and how their employer is compensated. The person you're talking to on the phone may make $15 an hour, whether they enroll 5 people a day or 50 people a day, but their employer certainly is going to get compensated based on enrollment, and you can bet that the employer is going to encourage their salaried reps to push the plans that pay them the most money. So this myth of going to somebody who's salaried or volunteer, that's probably not going to work out well either. Another thing is buying captive. Now, there are agents out there that they can only represent one carrier. And you don't want to get into a situation like that, because it's the same kind of circumstance as going direct to a carrier. All you're going to find out about is what they have to offer, and that may or may not be helpful. A lot of times people, if their spouse is already on Medicare and that plan seems to be working out well for them, then they'll say, well, I'll just buy the same plan that my husband has or my wife has. It's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And not necessarily. Your spouse may have made a poor choice, either in carrier or the plan, and beyond that, their needs may be completely different from yours. So just because your spouse bought from a particular plan from a certain carrier doesn't mean that it's right for you. Also, you may think, well, I get a discount because I'm getting the same plan. Most of the carriers do not have family discounts. So, and a lot of times even the family discount is not worth it, especially if your spouse made the wrong choice. So I'm not saying that it's going to buy the same plan or the same carrier. just make sure that you're going beyond just taking the kind of the no-brainer approach and say, well, it worked for my spouse, it'll work for me. Let's not even go there. Other people will buy based on a friend. They have friends that are older, they're on Medicare, and they'll say, well, I bought the F plan from this big company over here that everybody's heard of, and all my bills are paid. I never have to pay anything when I go to the doctor. Well, that certainly sounds great, that you don't have to pay anything when you go to the doctor. But that plan, and I have it. I mean, if you want the plan, I have it. And I'll be glad to give you a rate on it, and I'll also show you some rates on that same plan that are probably a lot less than those big name carriers. I'll also talk to you about other plans like GE, and sometimes maybe another plan that can save you even more money, and then let you decide. I really don't have any agenda other than trying to help people understand their options. I mean, that's really all it's about. I want to help you. I want to help you understand. Hopefully, the information I give you will be such that you'll want to hire me as your agent. And by the way, there's no charge for that. The carriers do compensate me when I place business with them. But I just want to help you out and give you the benefit of my 43 years in the business, plus all these years on Medicare myself. So that's my approach. If it works for you, great. Give me a call, shoot me an email. Be glad to talk to you. You have a great day. Bob Vineyard, Georgia Medicare Minute. Take care.